Guys, my name is Steve Bamshebi Samson. I'm the tutor for this CSC 206 Human Computer Interaction. And this is section 2, course unit 3, System-Oriented Perspective of Human-Computer Interaction, improving upon the user technological perspective. This is a follow-up to what we have done in Unit 1, Unit 2. So the definition of the course still remains the same. The course objective will still remain the same. As a cognitive human trust system, oriented perspective of human-computer interaction and improve upon the user technology perspective. These, the inputs and output of technological perspective of the system from the user's view is enhanced by the kind of support given the user of the system. There are different types of support available to the users at different times, particularly important during the implementation and presentation stage. Hence, the computer interaction components require careful design, type of user support that can be designed and offer include quick references, task-specific help, full explanation and tutorial. The kind of help solutions are provided on specific problem-oriented operations, while documentation solutions are given on system-oriented and general operation. The same design principle apply to both. Technical support offer the system user. The following are the requirements of an effective design of a technical support that can be offered to the system users. Continued access concurrent to maintain application should be made available. Help support for accuracy and completeness. The help should match and cover actual system behavior. There must be consistency between different parts of the help system. Paper documentation robustness should exist for correct error handling and unpredictable behavior. There should be flexibility such that the system allows the user to interact in a way appropriate to experience and task. Encountering problem. While operating the system should not prevent the user continuing with the work. The approaches to user support include the following. Command assistance should enable the user to request help on a particular command. Units and DOS help can be good for quick reference. If we assume that the user has knowledge of the command and what to look for, then the command prompt should provide information about correct usage when an error occurs and be good for simple syntactic error. Technical support offer the user's context. Content sensitive. Ensure that the help request is interpreted according to context in which it occurs, e.g. tooltips. The online tutorial allows the user to walk through the basic of the application in a test environment. Though often inflexible, it can be useful. The online documentation, though available in paper documentation, is also made available on computer. It should be continually available in common medium as well, since online documentation can be difficult to browse. Then, after should be included to support browsing. These are simple help requests that can help the user to be able to function effectively if all those things were made available at the right time and at the right channel. Adaptive help system. This user knowledge of the context, the individual user, the task, the domain, and the instruction to provide help adapted to the user's need. The problem with adaptive help system are that they require considerable knowledge. The interaction is not controlled and it is difficult knowing what should be adapted and the scope of the adaptation. Well, it is true, but with the right approach, it is also easy for system users to adapt to all these adaptive knowledge contexts, which can easily help them to perform their tasks easily and make corrections on the system that is developed. So, the internal support offer the system users continue. Issue concern is adaptive help. One, initiative. The question is whether the user retain control or can the system direct the interaction of the user, and can the system interrupt the user to offer help. The system can do that, but it can offer help. That depends if the user needs such help. Effect. The question is what is going to be adapted and what information is needed to do this. Only what is needed is model. Scope. Is the scope of the modeling at the application or system level. It is more complex at system level. E.g., expertise varies between applications. Yes, we have different experts depending on application in which the expert can add wizard and assistance wizard. Wizard is a task-specific tool that leads the user through a task step by step using the user's answers to specify questions. Example is in the preparation of resume. Wizard is used for the safe completion of complex or infrequent tasks. It has a limited inflexibility in a constrained task execution, so it must allow the user to go back to the beginning of the task. Assistance. Assistance monitor the user behavior and offer contextual advice through it can be irritating, e.g. in a MS paperclip. They must be under the user control, e.g. SP Smart Tag. Users modeling. In the user modeling of the knowledge representation, all help systems have a model of the user. It may be a single or generic user, non-intelligent user. The model could be an adaptive user configure or adaptive system configure. Approaches to users modeling. Quantification. Here, the user moves between level of expert based on quantitative measure of what he knows. Then story type. The user is classified into a particular category. Then overlay. The idealized model of an expert use is constructed and actual use compared to ideas. The model may contain the commonality of difference in a specialized case. The user behavior is compared to a known error catalog. Knowledge representation. Knowledge representation occurs when knowledge is presented as rules and facts are interpreted using inference mechanism. The domain and task modeling of the knowledge representation covers common errors and tasks, particularly the current task. It usually involves the analysis of command sequence. However, the problems here are concerned on how to represent the task, particularly when interleave and how to know the user's intentions. User modeling. Knowledge representation Adversary strategy. The adversary strategy for knowledge representation involves choosing the correct style of advice for a given situation in form of reminder, tutorial, etc. Few intelligent help system model adversary strategy, but choice of strategy is still important. Technique for knowledge representation. The techniques for knowledge representation are rule-based, e.g. logic, production rules. When knowledge are presented as rules and facts are interpreted using inference mechanisms, they can also be used in relatively large domains. It is frame-based, such as a semantic network. When knowledge stored in structures with slots are to be filled but useful for a small domain. Network-based. The knowledge is network-based when represented as a relationship between facts and can be used to link frames. It is example-based when the knowledge is represented implicitly within decision structure and trained to classify rather than program and rules. These ones require little knowledge acquisition. Problems with knowledge representation and modeling. The problem here include knowledge acquisition, the resources, and the interpretation of the user's behavior. Designing user support. User support is not an add-on, but should be designed integrally with system. The designer should concentrate on content and context of help rather than on technological issue. Presentation issue in designing user support. How is help requested? Is it at command level by button or by on and off function or by separate application? How is help displayed? Is it through a new window or a whole screen or a split screen or pop-up burst or int icon? The designer should note that effective presentation requires clear, familiar, or consistent language. It should contain instruction rather than descriptive language. Block of text should be what? Avoided. Then implementation issue in designing user support. Implementation issue are whether the help is in form of an operating system command or meta command or an application. There should be a clear indication of summary and example of information. What are the resources available in terms of screen space, the memory capacity, and speed of processing? Is the structure of help data in form of single file, a file hierarchy, or a database? Other issues concerning the flexibility and the extensibility of the implementation and whether it is made in hard copy or browsing. So this brings us to the conclusion that computer interaction components require careful design. The design should ensure that there are different types of support available to the user at different time, particularly during the implementation and presentation stage. Help solutions should be provided on specific problem-oriented operations, while documentation solutions are given on system-oriented and general operations. So in summary, the effective design of the technical support reflects in continuous access concurrently to main application being made available, and accuracy and completeness are guaranteed when the help support matches and covers actual system behavior. Wizard is a task-specific tool that leads the user through a task step by step using the user's answer to specified question, while as assistant monitor the user's behaviors and offer contextual advice. User modeling occurs when all help systems have a model of the users. Knowledge representation is the presentation of knowledge as rules and facts, and interpreted using inference mechanism. Users support use should be designed integrally with system. The designer should concentrate on content and contents of app rather than on technological issue. Thank you for showing up in this class. This has bring us to the end of section 2 of this course. Thanks for listening, and I will be expecting you to go through this video and then attend the discussion, and then attempt the quiz that's available for this course. Also attempt all the assignment that is dish out for this course. Thank you for participating.